Hey YouTube, so it's Morgan. My name is Morgan, obviously. So I'm going to go over my nonfiction to be read list. Thought it'd be best to split this list up. I have an actual physical list over in my bullet journal. Yeah, I'm one of those people with bullet journal. So I just wanted to come on here and show the books that I'm trying to get done by the end of this year. I'm going to not buy books for this whole month of August and see if that helps me tackle this list. I added some on it right before the month ended. So let me just get into the titles that I'm going to try and read. For White Folks Who Teach in the Hood and the Rest of Y'all Too. Reality, Pedagogy, and Urban Education by Christopher Edmond. This is a pretty new book too. I was teaching last year. I did a teaching fellowship for a preschool and pre-K program. My aunt bought this for me. She thought it might help me out some. And even though I'm not going to go back into early childhood education, I'm still interested in reading this book for the sake of it. The education system is really interesting, especially those of you who know and work within it. So yeah, I'm going to try and read this. The Misadventures of Awkward Black Girl. So I bought this when it first came out. But I do love Issa Rae. I loved the original Misadventures of an Awkward Black Girl. I wonder if it's still on YouTube. It probably is. Yeah, her TV show that's on YouTube. And I can't wait to watch her new HBO series when it comes out. I can't remember what the name of it is, but I will be watching it when it comes out. I think she's funny. This book has a lot of humor in it, or from what I've read so far. It's written in a funny tone, but it's her memoir. So I'm going to finish reading this, hopefully. The Defining Decade. Why Your 20s Matter and How to Make the Most of Them Now by Meg J. So a friend of mine suggested that I read this, and she read this a while back. I bought it because I felt like I was at a crisis. I still am. I mean, your 20s are weird, man. You gotta figure things out. And what I do best. I read. I search for answers. I picked this up, put this down. I'm probably not going to read this straight through like I tried to before. More just kind of go based on my interest through this book. So that's that. This one I'm really excited for. The Fire This Time. This was edited by Jesmyn Ward. This just came out last week. And I love Jesmyn Ward. Like, she has shot to like my top authors list very quickly. I read her introduction. I was going to try and hold off on this book, but I read her introduction and yeah, it made me tear up just like her memoir did. So I had to buy it. And of course, she's not the only author in this book. It's a lot of current Black and brown authors who are weighing in about race relations today in America. It is the title is The Playoff of the Fire Next Time by James Baldwin, and if you're familiar with that, I think it's a collection of essays as well. You know what he's talking about, and so this relates to it as far as today. And the funny thing is, in her introduction, she mentions how not much has changed. The past and the present are affecting our future. And so, yeah, I'm probably going to read this one really, really soon. Stand Your Ground, Black Bodies and the Justice of God. This is by Kelly Brown Douglas. She's a professor at Goucher College. Is it college? Yes. Goucher College in Baltimore. She has her church up there too. And my aunt gave me this. I went to one of her lectures that my aunt had Kelly Brown Douglas at her church, and she did like a lecture there. And it was really inspiring. I do call myself a Christian, but I have been searching for, I guess, answers, I would say, how to, with my kind of like liberal beliefs, how to be a member of the church and what is church, and you know, what's the best outlook on Christianity for somebody like me. So Kelly Brown Douglas really kind of ascribes to that, and she talks a lot about Black liberation theology. If you don't know what that is, you should go look it up. Despite your beliefs, I think it's pretty interesting, even if you aren't really religious or find yourself as Christian. 12 Years a Slave by Solomon Northup. I bought this when the movie came out. I have watched the movie and I have not read this yet. I haven't even cracked it open. But most people have heard about Frederick Douglass's 3 autobiographies and Harriet Jacobs' slave narrative, but I did not hear about his until the movie came out, and I wonder how that happened. And so I'm really, I really need to read this, and I'll probably watch the movie over again. I know a lot of people don't agree that we need slave movies, but I'm one who disagrees with that. I think they are necessary, so I will read this and watch that over again. Here Are Truths by Ruth Nicole Brown. She's a professor out of Chicago, and she has her own girls program that she writes a lot about. So when I was in school, I would write a lot about Black girlhood and how that was portrayed in novels. And Black girls are a group of people that are near and dear to my heart. So I'm going to finish this. This is definitely an more academic text, but yeah, you see I started this one and put it down as well. That seems to be a common theme in this list. The next one is The Sisters Are All Right, Changing the Broken Narrative of Black Women in America by Tamara Winfrey Harris. I had seen this one on Amazon a while ago, and I finally just picked it up at work last week. Yeah, I mean, she's trying to break stereotypes about Black women and give some positive narratives about the group of people. So, and my favorite thing about this book, on the back, it says, "What's wrong with Black women? Not a damn thing." I couldn't agree more. Okay, let's go. Melissa Harris Perry, Sister Citizen, Shame, Stereotypes in Black Women in America. So I went through this period where I just had to watch Melissa Harris Perry on MSNBC. I'm sad that, she chose not to finish the show, but I definitely understand why. I miss seeing her every Saturday and Sunday, but at least she's not far. You still hear about her. She still does TV interviews and all that stuff. Good stuff. Is she the editor? She's an editor at Elle magazine now, I think. I will correct myself if I am wrong. But yeah, I've heard this is a heavy text, like I guess like the probably what she's talking about is pretty heavy and probably like pretty, I don't know the word for it, but not the subject matter is heavy, but how she's using language is pretty heavy. But I'm just excited to get to this, like the rest of them, of course. But yeah, I really want to say I've read it from cover to cover just to say it, but I know she's going to have some really good information in here. Alright. Sister Outsider by Audre Lorde, Essays and Speeches. These are her essays and speeches. Yeah, I picked this one up, put it down. Definitely need to read it. I feel like all my books I have are must-reads, of course. My Grandfather Would Have Shot Me. A Black woman discovers her family's Nazi past. Jennifer I hope it's Teagle, and Nicola Selmer. I'm sorry for butchering their names. I know I just did. But my aunt had told me about this book probably a year ago. She said she heard about it on NPR. And then when I ran across it in the bookstore while I was working, I just felt like I had to have it. She's a biracial woman. She's Black and Jewish, and she finds out that her grandfather was a Nazi, and he was also depicted in Schindler's List, thus the title, My Grandfather Would Have Shot Me. Right. Next one. Hunger of Memory, The Education of Richard Rodriguez. When I was in grad school, we had a visiting writer series the MFA program did. I was in the literature program. And he came, and I went because I liked one of his essays. It was about him. The more he, the further he went in education, the more he kind of felt a distance between like his family members. He describes as a Latino man, and I really appreciated that essay. So I picked this up, and he did sign it for me at, where did you sign? Yeah, he signed it, and he said he was like really happy that I related to that essay that he wrote, and that like made my night. So, all right, moving forward. The Internal Enemy, Slavery and War in Virginia in 1772, 1832. My coworker told me that this is one of his favorite books on history. So I thought I was surprising my aunt with this book one day when I came home from work, and then I found out she already had it in hardback. So, keeping it for myself. Year of Yes by Shonda Rhimes. I don't go to Shondaland often. Meaning I'm not a big Olivia Pope Scandal fan, but I do like How to Get Away with Murder, but I'm also behind in those. I have to catch up on Netflix. But yeah, I just wanted to read about you know, why she decided to do this Year of Yes. What is it? How did she feel? How successful was she by the end of this year? I mean, obviously she's really successful, but you know, I just want to hear about it by you know, in her own words, by her terms. So yes, I will get back to this. I started it and stopped. Looking for Leroy Illegible Black Masculinities. This is by Mark Anthony Neal. He's a professor at Duke. I previously read New Black Man, now almost about 2 years ago, and I bought this at the same time, but I read that one first. So he's obviously writing about black masculinity in this book, and that's something I really, I've started reading more about masculinity. I do consider myself a feminist, and I think something about, you know, being a feminist and being involved in feminism is that you do need to know about masculinity. People have so many misconceptions of feminism and women and gender studies just in general, and yeah, you can study masculinity, but it is not to overshadow women or any other gender identities. I mean, you have femininity, masculinity, you got stuff in between. And I think you got to know about all of them. So I'm still on that path of learning more about gender. So yes, that's one of those. Push Out, The Criminalization of Black Girls in Schools by Monique W. Morris. Again, I love reading stuff about black women, black girls, women of color. I genuinely love women, obviously. And this is about how black girls are unfairly punished in schools, specifically public schools she's talking about in this one. I remember a few years ago when the first reports came out about how black girls were disciplined in school. So I was really excited that somebody wrote a full book on it. It has interviews with girls, statistics, follow-ups, and how you can better help young girls while they're in schools, and how you can be a part of the solution for them. So I am excited to finish this. I'm almost done. So I'm definitely trying to be a part of the solution for black girls out here. And last but not least, Nobody. Casualties of America's War on the Vulnerable, from Ferguson to Flint and Beyond by Mark Lamont Hill. So I'm smiling a lot because Mark Lamont Hill is my intellectual crush, as I like to call it. I have such a crush on him. And of course, that's why I bought the book. I'm not even gonna lie, it was because I have a crush on him, but I'm definitely, trust me, I'm definitely interested in the subject matter of this book, especially with everything going on now. I've seen that there's, you know, a Black Lives Matter tag going around BookTube, and of course it's a hot topic on YouTube. So I'm excited to read this, and yeah, I mean, that's all I can say about that. All right, so this is the end of my nonfiction to be read list. Hopefully I get this and my fiction list read by December, and I'll make a video about how successful I was at reading it. Hopefully because I finished all of them and not because it's December and I said I would make this video in August. Let me know some of your nonfiction things you want to read that you suggest I read. If you have any videos similar to this, just comment below and let me know. I'm interested in what you have to say. If you have any thoughts on the books that I have, yeah, let's discuss. So have a good day. I will see you the next time I'll make a video.